So hello and welcome to the Lewis Nichols Show, and this is kind of like episode 2 really. We're speaking to more of the cast and the stars of a film that I've been tweeting about that I absolutely love, Out of Time. So let's say hello to Frankie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. And we've got Grace on the show as well.
Hi.
Hello. And we've got Adam. How are you?
Hi. Good.
And I was going to say Wayne, I need to knock this because of the name in the corner. We've got the producer, Michelle, is joining us as well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And then we've got the lovely Kerry. I'm glad that you're back. I wanted you back on the show because obviously this is your film. You know, you wrote this, and I think it would be really good to have you on with some of the other cast, just to hear your kind of thoughts on how they did and working with them and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I love them all. It's lovely to see them after such a long time as well.
Well, Kerry, I mean, last time you kind of outdid everyone with your setting and stuff. So I'm just going to change myself and go into another room just so we can kind of compete with you. Just so it looks a little bit more, we're competing with you now.
I love it! Love it!
That was
brilliant.
You outdid everyone. I mean, Leon was trying to remove some cushions, and then you just came in with your Elton John piano and.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to hire a harp for next time.
Like, should I be here?
So I wanted to start off with Frankie, really. I mean, Frankie, you know, you're one of the big stars of this film, and I've got to say, your performance, you probably heard me say it last week, but it was incredible. I mean, how you played this role at such a young age as well was just fantastic. So when you first read the script for the first time, I mean, what were your initial thoughts? Because it's such a deep character to play at such a young age as well. It would have took a lot for you to, you know, to do this justice.
Yeah, I didn't know anything at first, but then my mum and dad told me about it all, and it helped a lot to like get into the character and stuff like that.
And did you have to do any research, you know, to you know, in regards to the background, so you could then go and play this character?
Yeah, I've done a bit of research and like seeing what they go through and stuff like that, so that helped as well.
And you know, obviously now since the film has gone out there, and I know it's had an amazing reaction, what reaction have you had personally? Have you had people reach out to you, you know, in regards to saying that you've helped them?
Not like that, but I've had like amazing feedback on it, and it's been just overall amazing. And
Kerry, we spoke last week, obviously, in regards to your thoughts of Frankie, and you just obviously loved working with him. But did he kind of capture everything that you envisioned when you put this together?
Do you know, as soon as he walked through the door and we did that swing scene, his face just literally, me and Michelle, I could see our bottom lips literally trembling, going, and he just literally stole the show, didn't he, Michelle? He was just brilliant, and the fact that he can play vulnerable so well, he captivates us all just through his face. He does so much with his face when he acts that it's just brilliant.
I mean, I said it last week, the scene where you're both on the swing, and it's the line that you say, Kerry, which is kind of the way you look and feel don't match, but they will one day. And there was something about that moment where you say that in the film. It was just incredible. It was so emotional. And that's what I love about the film, is there's so many times throughout the whole duration of this film where there's moments where it just, like I said earlier, it gives you like a lump in your throat. When you watched it back, did you feel the same emotions, you know, even being part of it? Did it kind of make you feel emotional?
Is that to me or
yeah,
Frankie?
To you.
Oh, well, that was filmed very, very late at night, and I remember Frankie's dad really getting really emotional watching it. Do you remember, Frankie? Your dad got really, he filled up, didn't he?
I think he was standing upstairs watching out the window.
And he started crying. He said, oh my God, that scene's something else. But I think we both felt it when we did that scene, because it's such a big moment in the character Connor's life. We were both really scared at that point, and we really felt it, didn't we, Frankie, when we were doing this? We both felt the nerves for this child going through this. And yeah.
It also helped a lot though, because that was obviously my audition scene, so I had done it before with you, so it just helped. So it helps like the chemistry.
Definitely. And
Yeah,
me and
Frank,
Michelle-
your dad was standing with me. We were basically in front of, well, behind the camera. It was me and his dad, Dan, and then Leon and them, and me and Dan were just a mess. I had to walk in because it just crucified me, that scene. I couldn't stay in the garden anymore. It was I call every film that I do a roller coaster ride, and that one I definitely cried the most. And it was from the performances. The kids were absolutely fantastic.
I mean, Michelle, how did your part actually come about working on this film? I mean, did you and Kerry work prior together? Like, how did your involvement all come about?
I met Kerry 20 odd years ago because I had a casting agency for 26 years. So I'd done a lot of background artists for Hollyoaks, Coronation Street, Bob Hoskins' movie Sparkle, worked with David Morrissey, Celia Imrie, Armand Asante. So I'd been in mainstream for a long time. And Kerry was one of my artists, and then she started writing, and it's being new talent, it's very hard to get into mainstream. And I just thought, we've got so much talent, we need to make a point here. And Kerry couldn't get her script seen by anybody because we're classed as unsolicited. So we made it ourselves, and the point was to find raw talent and make something that would show people that we can make quality the same as mainstream for people to back us in the future, so we can take the likes of Frankie and Grace and Adam and put them into other films and grow their career and get them professionally ready for mainstream, because there's such a big gap in the market.
And for you,
And it really did help. Like a lot of I've had a few messages that like, oh, seeing you in this, and it's like, it's such like a nice boost to get, like, because obviously it's so hard to even get yourself seen by anyone nowadays.
I mean, what I do want to quickly say to Michelle, really, which is obviously to produce this and work on this film, you know, and obviously take Kerry's idea and work on making it a reality for her. When you seen the finished piece for the first time, what were your thoughts and reactions? Because you must have been so chuffed with how this just came about into kind of the masterpiece that it is now.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, the response that we've had, people are looking at the value of the film and they think we're up there with everybody else, which we are. But we made that film on £13,000, but the production value by the time I'd finished was £295,000. And one of my points is that we've got to stop low pay and no pay in this industry, and that we need investment to continue such great talent and you know, take it worldwide. But the reviews that we've had in regards to the value of how the film looked is just, you know, we did what we set out to do, and we couldn't have done that without, you know, it took me and Kerry over 12 months to cast the film. You've got to get it right. You've got to get everything right, from health and safety to risk assessments to clearances to everything, because the likes of Amazon and Netflix and any TV won't take anything if you haven't covered everything. And we literally covered everything we needed to for it to be taken. It's just, if you've been in the industry for as long as I have, for us, they don't realise what we've achieved. It's above and beyond. Guys, you've done so brilliantly. It's ridiculous.
And I mean, we've also got Grace here as well. And Grace, I mean, you were kind of the only friend that was there for Connor in the film. And I mean, you know, you played that part so well, because you really had, you know, I keep saying Frankie, but Connor in the film, you know, his best interest. You wanted the best, and for them to really be themselves. I mean, so what was your kind of favourite moment for you when you look back at your experience on being on the film? What stands out as the favourite moment for you?
I think it was the scene with the biscuits, where in the burned biscuits. And I remember when I first auditioned, I done that scene with Kerry, and I remember you actually brought the box and we acted it out. But yeah, and I loved when we filmed in Connor's house as well, and it was just, and the way it was snowing. I just remember the whole time we were filming, it was snowing in March.
I mean,
Oh my God, Lewis, there's the snowing scene. We turned up and Lewis Emmerich and Lindsay Germain were coming this day, and Suzanne Collins. So we basically nearly had the, you know, the group side crew. So for me as a producer, I always have to like, what will we do if it rains because we're outside, etc. And Lewis could only do the afternoon or the morning. So I'm thinking of all kinds. We turned up, it was just white with snow. So we had to change the film into inside in the morning, while me, Kerry, or everybody who wasn't in the scene was outside with the 43 students washing snow away, didn't we, kids?
Yes, we did. All the snow outside of full school. We've never been so cold in all our lives.
In March as well.
I was in the school
No.
snowing.
I remember as well, in the school when Connor comes to school, and literally we were all there shivering, but you couldn't tell it was snowing, but we were all there freezing in our school uniforms with coats on. I just remember it.
I remember was the film, I don't know what month the film was set, but we had coats on, and then the camera would roll and they'd be like, take coats off, so we'd all be like,
Yeah, and then we quickly took them off.
I mean, just before we came on, I think I heard Kerry, was that you were actually saying that you've worked with Grace before, prior to this film. Is that right?
Yes, I very first seen Grace when she was about 9 on stage singing at a show, and I just remember thinking, wow, this kid has got a little bit of magic about her. And then later on, we've done the film, didn't we? And then it's after then that I do shows every single year for vulnerable children and underprivileged children. And Grace has played the lead in quite a lot of those shows. And she's brilliant. She's a triple threat, as is our gorgeous Adam there as well. So yeah, the three of them are just busted with talent, honestly.
You want to hear this young lady sing? And
Amazing.
Adam, you played the lead in Billy Elliot, didn't you? Was it the West End?
I did the West End and I did tour.
And how long did you do that for?
I started when I was 11 and finished like a week before I came onto production for this.
Wow, what an experience. And I mean, for people that are watching this now, they probably won't recognize you from the film because you look completely different.
Yeah. I played Tommy.
And Tommy, so for people that obviously are going to check this out, or if they haven't already checked it out, Tommy is like a bully. So, you know, he's not very pleasant to Connor, and really pushes him, you know, makes his life difficult, and is nowhere near like Annie, you know, in regards to being supportive. I mean, what was it like for you to play that part, you know, of a bully with such a difficult story?
Obviously, it's hard because you don't want to be portrayed as obviously a horrible person, and a lot of the time it's like a fine line between, it definitely is me, isn't it, with the echo? Anyway, a lot of the time there's a fine line between like acting and reality, and some people don't see it. And I mean, think that's you.
I don't want to say too much, like, because I know last week, Kerry, I literally gave everything away. But we do see towards later on in the film that your character does start to have a little bit more empathy. You know, he's not this bad guy all the way through. There is a heart to him, which was nice to see, because it gives hope for those that are going through this, that actually you will be accepted and you can be yourself. And I think that was such an instrumental part of this film to have that in there.
100%.
I hope I didn't give too much away again, Kerry.
No, a lot of the characters are going through their own little journey. So it's lovely to see that, you know, there's, as someone put it to us when we were speaking the other day, there's good inside most of us, isn't there? There is, you know, we're all good. You know, the majority of people, there's a lot of good inside everyone, no matter you know, how you end up or where you end up in life. There's a reason why everyone's like they are, and yeah, you can redeem yourself, and you can, and as Adam's character, Tommy did, and there was a couple of characters like that, wasn't there?
I mean, I shouldn't. I don't know why I find it so funny, but every time I watch the film, I find the milkman hilarious, and I can't work out why, because he's only in it for like a little bit, but every single scene he's in, I'm just in stitches. He's such a good actor.
He's got funny bones. Yeah.
You're not the only one, Lewis. The response the milkman's got, and even the estate agent Anthony is just, you know, they've really picked up on them, and it's just him. I think he's fantastic.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Kerry, was, you know, the scene where the lady comes out shouting at the milkman, you know, she's swearing because he's woke her up. Did you have to speak to the residents of that area to say, look, we're filming a film and there's going to be a scene where this lady's coming out shouting? Because I just kind of wondered what the people in all the other houses must be thinking is going on.
Yeah, we did. But thank goodness the woman whose house it was a bit deaf. So it really helped. She didn't actually know how much cursing was going on at the time. So she was a little bit deaf. And I think we nearly broke a fence at one point, but luckily it was still intact when we left.
Lewis, we got that house on the day, because it was like we had the house for Sheila, and we were like, oh, we need the neighbour's house, and we were like, can we just borrow your house for 2 hours? We had it on the morning.
On the day. The more we speak, the more I'm going to watch this film in such a different way. I'm loving it. Just getting to
I'll tell you what, we got the first edit back, and I was in Kerry's house, and we were watching it, and she comes out and she throws the slippers. But we're watching, I went to Kerry, you just threw 3 slippers in, and Kerry went, don't be stupid. I went, she has. So if 3 slippers come across, because the way you said it, we were crying, laughing, weren't we, Kerry?
I've joined on the laptop, so just so the echo. There we go.
So I think we've got another Adam coming on, so we'll take off the one that you're on now, and then we should, that hopefully will help the echo. But I do want to ask Frankie, obviously, from this film, you know, I mentioned it before, your performance was just exceptional. It was powerful, full of emotion, and I think the way that you portrayed this character, you did it justice. And I wanted to ask, what's next for you now? Because, you know, I said last week on the show, there's no way this is the last we've seen of you, because it's one of the best performances I've seen in a film in a very long time.
Thanks. After this, I've also done 2 films. One of which is actually a 99th crime film, which was meant to come out before lockdown, but obviously Corona.
Just put that back a little bit. Right?
Everything.
Yeah.
Corona, that's a bottle of beer, that, Frankie.
COVID.
But I mean, so you've got those projects coming up. I mean, if you could do something else, you know, what would you love to do? Is there a show that you would love to work on that's kind of your ambition? I guess working with Kerry again would be a big bonus as well.
Yeah, I would love to work with Kerry again. And also, I would like to Stranger Things.
Okay.
Stranger Things, yeah.
And what about you, Grace? Because again, your performance, you just, again, like everyone in this film, you played it so well. So what's next for you? Do you have any projects that you're working on, or stuff that's going to be coming up in the new year?
To be honest, I'm in last year of school, so I feel like this year I've just been spending focusing more on the schoolwork because I've got exams. But I'd love to just be like working again, acting again, because obviously we're in another lockdown and everything, and it's quite hard during these times. But
And what about you, Adam? Because obviously we spoke then that you've worked on Billy Elliot, you've done stuff prior to this as well. So what's next for you?
Film beginning of lockdown. Well, at the end of lockdown when it first got lifted, for 5 weeks in Tully, and then at the end of next week, I go into production for a series. Jimmy McGovern is the writer for that.
Awesome.
I've got a few.
You've got Steve, isn't that the one with Stevie Graham and Sean Bean, Adam?
Yeah, Stephen Graham and Sean Bean are in that as well.
Wow, you left that one out there. That's impressive.
I forgot to mention.
How did you need someone else to mention those names?
I know. I don't know whether to name drop or not.
Oh, she did. When
definitely
Jimmy
name drop.
McGovern is really, really big with his rice. And I worked with Colin McEwen back in 2000, and he was working with Jimmy then. So Jimmy's writing is very well known. So well done, Adam. That's really a big production.
Yeah, well done.
That's what done Blade with Colin.
That's right. Yeah, was that the Anthony film? Was it, Frankie?
No, it was a different one. This one hasn't came out yet. It's called Blade.
Oh, fantastic!
It's very hard to get roles as a young actor now, because a lot of the time we hire older people to play young parts. So last year I didn't have a single job for the whole year, and now that I'm turning 18, it's easier to get a job now. So I've done 4 projects this year already, and it's so much easier.
Amazing.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. Just the projects that you've got coming on, and like casually then you mentioned 2 amazing people that you're working with. I did want to ask Frankie, what was the reaction like from your school friends after they watched the film? Did you have people come up to you and say, oh my God, I love the film? Like, what was the reaction like?
At first, I was a bit like apprehensive, thinking what people were going to say, but the support has been so good from like the teachers and the students as well.
And what about for you, Grace? What was the reaction like?
Everyone said like they just love the story and like the message that comes from it. And like Annie, the character I play, like she's just such like a role model, like to how you should be like supportive to anyone going through that.
And Adam, what about you? What did your friends say, and what was the general reaction like for you?
Well, I'm in college, so I walked in to the common room, and a few of my friends just sat watching it, because obviously it came out and I put it on Instagram, and they were just like, I can't believe like you played that part, like you're not like that at all. Like, I'm such a nice person.
I mean, you all done incredibly well, and I mean, if you watched the show last week, you'll just see how much that it meant to Kerry as well, because I mean, she's just gone. I think she'll be coming back, but obviously that film meant so much for Kerry. She wrote this, and it was something close to her heart, and I think to have such a crew that came together and just made her dream almost a reality is incredible. Michelle, what about you? Is there any projects that you're working on at the moment, or that you've got coming up next year?
I've got 1, 2, 3 film scripts in development. 2 of them are on the 4th draft and basically ready to go for investment. One is David Yip, the actor, Chinese actor, local. He's assigned to that already, so we're just waiting to hear about the funding for that. And then the other script, which is now called Trouble Soul, which was Northern Soul. That's my military project where we employ ex-veterans to get them back into work on film, and it is a soldier, ex-soldier, that's actually the stories come from. And a student from Edgehill University has written that script, first time leaving uni, which is part of what I want to achieve, is to give students their credits before they leave, which they'd never get that from mainstream straight away. And of course, create feature films that we can take Frankie and Grace and Adam and keep moving them up the ladder so that they get to a stage for mainstream to really pick them up, because there's no platform to show and keep getting their talents and skills out there where they're seeing them all the time. When you look, we've done it in 2018, they've all grown up. For me, I wanted to film the next year and the next year, and for them to come out, because that's how they get noticed when you're in mainstream. But unfortunately, there's just not the funding there, the sustainable funding to do that. But because we've done so well this time, I'm hoping that brings that for all of us.
And I've just done, obviously I've done the film during lockdown, well, at the end of lockdown, and that was like a fully funded film, and I noticed no difference between the set, but the sets were the same. Like, it was like, ours was like quite a low budget film, but amazing. Everything was the same. Like, you wouldn't even know that was a high budget film. It was amazing, but on par.
I mean, Kerry, you could probably agree with this. What's incredible about talking to, yourself, Michelle, and the cast that we've got on today is you're such a selfless group. Like, everything, like, Michelle always wants to help the new generation. Same with yourself. It's never been about, you. It's been about helping the younger actors come up. But then when we're talking to Adam, Grace, and Frankie, you're all supporting each other. It's such a nice group, which I've not had that in an interview where you're all just supporting each other on the level that you are. It's incredible.
You know, it was like that from day one when we all got together. We were all a real team, and it's gone on. And obviously, I've used Chris in my shows. Frankie's been in my shows. Adam, I can't get hold of him because he's always so busy, but I will get him eventually. Yeah, I've got another feature film on the horizon called Hopeless, and I would love all these, the three of them, to be a part of that film somewhere, because they're selfless. I just think they've got really true talent there, and I would like to do that and take them with us on my journey.
Well, Adam, you need to make yourself available now. You've had a good offer there.
It's like, obviously we have someone who like arranges these, and I'm always last to reply, and it's like I'm never by my phone. Like I'm always on the break or doing something.
Well, I'm looking forward to, for all of you to see what's coming next for you in the new year when hopefully things go back to normal. But thank you so much for coming on the show to join us, and hopefully, Kerry, you're going to be back next week. For, I don't know if it's our last episode, I'm not sure we're doing 3 or 4, but yeah, we'll get you back next week as well. But thank you so much to Frankie, thanks to Grace, thanks to Adam and Michelle as well. It's been incredible having you on the show just to talk about your experiences, so thank you.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.